Hello. Welcome to Redeemer Youth. We are so excited that you're here today. If we haven't met before, my name is Brian.
My name is Baco.
We have an incredible night tonight. We got some funny things. We've got some fun things. We've got some serious things. We've got some meaningful things. You're going to be laughing. You're going to be in tears. You're going to be in all the emotions today. Maybe not. I don't actually know. But it's going to be awesome. I am pumped for tonight. One of the big announcements that we have, one of the big things that I am really excited about is we have an announcement for New Year's Eve.
Oh, yeah.
That is something new that we have never done before, and I am pumped. And
I'm excited.
Tonight, you get the first look at what's happening this New Year's Eve.
I don't even actually know what it is, to be honest.
Oh, we've kept it under wraps.
Excited.
We've kept it under wraps. I'm so pumped. So that's coming tonight. And that's the only sneak peek. That's the only preview I'm giving you. It is going to be awesome. I'm excited about it. But for those of you who've been around, or if you haven't been here the last couple of weeks, we've been in this conversation called More Than a Hashtag. Mm-hmm. And we've been looking at kind of using a piece of the Bible as our kind of conversation piece. It's Micah 6:8 that says, this is what the Lord requires of you, to love mercy, to act justly, and to walk humbly with your God. And so we've been looking at that. We've been talking about this concept of justice over the last few weeks. Baco, how has this series been for you? Like, what have you been thinking about in this series? What's been going on in your mind? Tell us, how have you been receiving this series so far?
Well, more than a hashtag, for me, I try to see, like, what in the Bible can help me, like, make steps towards that goal. But in the Bible, there isn't, like, clear steps like, hey, donate this amount of money for X amount of years and it's solved.
And then you're living the sweet life.
Exactly. Yeah, I try to see what Jesus would do. Like, what would Jesus do with climate change? Obviously, there isn't anything there. So I thought more about it, and I thought more about it. I'm just like, okay, how I have to have God at the center of this, so He can lead me through it easier without, like, I don't know, taking so long or giving me good ideas.
It's like that, what's that, like, centering principle, right? Like, everybody's got to have their thing that, like, this is the piece that really helps you make your judgments from here to here to here to here, that kind of overarches, guides you along the way. And as followers of Jesus, like, that's what Jesus is about. Like, that's who God is for us. And to use that as kind of that guiding principle through the...
like the idea of justice, really. For some people think justice is about revenge.
Oh,
about, about that. But if you think Jesus-like, it's more like you want to help that person change and, stop that from happening again to other people, because even, the person who caused the injustice, I guess they still deserve justice themselves. You gotta free them from themselves, really.
Yeah, like there's a consequence to that, right?
Yeah, there's a consequence, but
like, revenge is so short-sighted, right? Where, like, if you want to actually see the person change, there's a bigger thing, a bigger picture to work towards, right?
The best scenario at the end of it is both sides really is in good terms with each other without having one side be on top of another, or really
like being able to come alongside each other and, like, move together. I love it. And that's really what tonight is all about. Tonight we focus in on the idea of act justly. What does that actually mean, to act justly? And so I'm really excited for the message tonight. I'm excited. It's going to be challenging. I've gotten to preview the message already. I'm not giving it, but I've heard it already, and it was challenging for me. I think you guys are going to have some great discussion in your growth groups afterwards. I'm pumped for that. But Baco, I did something that I've never done before. I went a little bit wild with our worship director, Wesley Berger, and we tried something a few weeks ago. We tried a bag of really, really hot chips, and it was a lot. My mouth is on fire. But then Wesley found the hottest chip in the world. I could tell you all about it, but we actually recorded the whole thing. So I'm actually going to switch it, and you guys can watch this. Check this out.
If you recall, example of an even spicier chip that existed out in the ether. Well, today we have acquired that chip. Let's cut to the product camera here. This is the I never figured out the pronunciation of this. The Paqui. This is the 2020 One Chip Challenge, and what this is a single chip. A single chip in a flame-covered coffin-shaped box. This is covered in Carolina Reaper peppers, and also a flavor of theirs that they call Sichuan Heat. This is a box with a single tortilla chip in it.
So that's what we're doing today.
It's a chip, and it's all those things. Immediately upon smelling it, it smells toxic. It smells absolutely toxic to me.
My. Cheers to the Carolina Reaper One Chip Challenge. All right, I'm crying already. Let me be honest, this tastes like garbage. It does not taste good. I still have it in my mouth. I can't get myself to swallow it. I can't do it. Okay.
It tastes bad.
Okay.
It's painful.
Yeah, I'm crying. I feel like my tongue's gonna fall out of my mouth. Oh, the hiccup started. They're gonna fall out of my mouth. Okay, yeah, I don't have a tongue anymore. My tongue is gone. I don't have a tongue in my mouth anymore.
I just feel my temperature rising.
Ugh, I feel like my tongue's not in my mouth right now. But we're having fun. That's why we do this, is to do stupid things so that you don't have to.
I'm trying to physically
Not die?
I'm trying to spread the pain throughout my whole body. I can't see. I can't look at you either because I can't see through my eyeballs. I can't see my eyes.
Like, I feel like when I'm doing this, it's like just silky wet on my fingers. Oh, lick your cheek.
I'm not gonna do it.
Lick your cheek.
You're crying.
I told you, it's
You're
like straight
crying.
tears. It's straight tears.
We're gonna break the fourth wall.
This is a hot take right now.
We're gonna
Real
break
hot
the
take.
fourth wall for Brian's tears.
Is my tongue there?
Your tongue looks normal.
Is it there? I have passed out the last 2 times I've given blood, and that's what I feel like. We're dragons right now. We are dragons. Oh, I got like chip goop in between my teeth.
Don't do it. I did it. It hurt. Like you lit Listerine on fire,
Yep.
and then put it on sandpaper, and then licked the sandpaper.
One chip!
And then kissed a cat.
Oh.
I'm not gonna throw up. That would be even worse.
Thanksgiving is coming up on Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving Eve.
On the eve of Thanksgiving, we will give preemptive thanks for the giving of thanks.
There's gonna be a church service on Thanksgiving Eve. I hope this has been as fun for you as it has for us.
No, I hope it's been more fun for you, because this has not been fun for us.
We're gonna go check into a hospital.
Until next time.
Thank you.
We love you.
And cut.
And cut.
Last time you saw Brian and I.
Why, it's on a loop. It's on a loop.
We're eating some spicy chips.
We're starting it up again. Oh my, oh, okay. So that was us. I hope you enjoyed that ridiculousness. I have recovered. My tongue is there. It's there. So that's good.
Yeah.
Baco, we got to get up to the stage. We'll see you in a minute. What's up, you guys?
What's up?
Welcome to Redeemer Youth. We are here. We are live. I am excited that you guys are all here in the room for us. I hope you guys enjoyed the ridiculous hot chip challenge. What was it? I can't even remember what it was called now. Eating that chip was such a blur in my mind that, I feel like I've had a worse burn in my mouth, but what it did to my whole body was a whole nother level. It was weird. So that was that. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun. But hey, if we haven't met, my name is Brian.
My name is Baco.
And we're going to kick off with a game. Baco, tell us what this game is.
All right, this game is called Monotune Disney. So basically,
Come on, more
we're
Disney.
just going to read a bunch of Disney lyrics, and you guys will guess the song. So.
All right, but are you going to sing them to us?
No. I'm actually just going to...
Do you guys want to hear Baco's beautiful voice, though?
No.
I don't think anybody does.
No.
That's why you play the bass.
Exactly.
So you're going to read the lyrics?
Yep.
And do we just free for all get to guess?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
He guesses that you get to... Oh, gosh. Okay. All right, you guys ready for this? Game faces.
All right, first
online,
one.
Hey, if you're watching online, put your answers in on the chat. We're watching, okay? I'm watching you. Game faces. Let's do this. The movie. Tell us the movie.
Oh, yeah,
Shout them out
yeah.
until we can get it. You guys ready? All right, let's do this first one.
Don't you turn your back on me. Don't you walk away. Don't you tell me I don't care, because I do.
Well, weren't you guys just moved by those lyrics? What movie is it from?
Don't you turn your back
I heard
on
Mulan,
me.
not Mulan.
Don't you walk away.
Ray, not Moana.
Don't you tell me
Not Brave.
I don't care, because I do.
Not Frozen. What? Hercules, not Hercules. I don't know, this is a sad one. What? Not Little Mermaid. Nope. Not Rapunzel. Monsters, Inc., not Minsk. Nope. I'll give you a hint. This one, did this one start as Pixar?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this started as Pixar. No. What? No. Toy Story. Did you say I heard Toy Story? Not Toy Story. Which one? No. Yeah, it was Toy Story 3. The song. What's the song called?
Is that the one with like the teddy bear?
We Belong Together. I don't know. This is like an obscure lyric. And just remember, this was warm up round. Whew. We got more lyrics to go. You guys ready for the next one?
Yeah, let's
go.
go.
All right, Baco,
All right,
take us
second
away.
one.
Move our souls. You didn't even say it, and they already got it.
All right, yeah, it's Tangled.
Tangled.
When will my life begin?
Then after lunch. I burped. Okay, let's do this again. You guys ready now? That one was way too easy. You guys got that so fast. All right, let's get the next one.
All right, third one. I know that your powers of...
Nice. They got the Lion King right away. I know that. What is it? I want you to read it still. I like read this for us, Baco.
I know that your powers of retention are as wet as your warthog backside, but thick as you are, pay attention. My words are a matter of pride.
Oh, did that just bring you guys to like a whole new emotional state? Oh, that was powerful, Baco. That was powerful.
Thank you.
All right, let's hit up the next one.
This one's hard. Unbelievable sights, indescribable feelings, soaring, tumbling,
Mackenzie nailed that one.
freewheeling through an endless diamond sky.
I know you
A
were all
whole
just
new
drifted
world
into that
Aladdin.
romantic scene in Aladdin.
Great song.
This is my
Great
favorite.
movie.
I love this so much, Baco.
It's amazing.
Oh, yes. Okay, that was Aladdin. Mackenzie, nicely done. You nailed that one right away. Okay,
All right.
let's go to the next one.
Say goodbye to the pain of the past. We don't have to feel it anymore.
Frozen. You guys said that like the most disgusted I have ever heard. Frozen. They said that more monotone, like disgusted than what you're reading this. This is so good. Okay, let's go. Okay, we got a couple more. Let's do this one. Let's do the next one.
Where dark woods hide secrets, and mountains are fierce and bold, deep waters held reflections of times lost long ago.
Long ago. Angel, what was it? Brave!
Yes, it's Brave.
Nicely done. That's from
Touch
Brave.
the Sky.
I think I've only seen Brave one time ever. I think. And we own it? Oh, geez. We own it, and I've only seen it once. I'm not really ashamed of that, to be honest. I don't know. That's how it is. All right. Okay. These next ones are probably the hardest in the whole list. So we gave it to you guys. This was easy so far. Now we go up to a whole new level. You ready? I don't actually know if this is true or not. But here we go. Let's do it.
Next one. A dream is a wish your heart makes.
Cinderella. They got that one already. All right,
That
next
was
one.
pretty easy.
No, this one's tough. This one's tough.
This vampire bat, this inhumane beast, she ought to be locked up and never released.
Not Anastasia.
The world was such a wholesome place until.
Amalia, what was it? 101 Dalmatians!
Nice. Is this the animated version, or is this the...
Both?
Both?
I didn't know there was a live
is?
one. Animated.
Okay.
All right, the experts say it was the animated one. The song is Cruella de Vil, which I didn't know until like 3 years ago that Cruella de Vil is like cruel devil. Like I didn't put that together until way, way longer than I ever should have. So okay, we got two more. Let's do the next one. This is a tricky one.
All around the cathedral.
No, not the Hunchback.
All around the cathedral, the saints and apostles look down as she sells her where,
Nope.
although you can't see it, you know you are smiling each time someone shows that he cares.
Gosh, this is so good. Yes!
Nice.
Mary Poppins! Cody in the back! He nailed it! Cody, yeah, yes. I almost said Cody Poppins. Mary Poppins. Okay, this last one, Baco, is my favorite of all of them. The challenge is on. I want to see if anyone actually gets this. Are you ready? This is the hardest one. Let's see it.
Dum, 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 dum. Yeah. Who said that, Jared?
Jared got it in the back, although I feel like he's cheating because he's looking at the slides from where he's at. Jared says he just knew. It's Star Wars, the Imperial March. Dum, 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 da, dum, dum, da, da. This is my favorite. Okay, Baco, we are just full of ridiculously lame games, and I love every second of it. Okay, we have a fun announcement, a fun video, a fun heads up of what's happening this New Year's Eve. Check it out. So you guys, I have been doing ministry for over 10 years now with high schoolers. Over a decade, I've been doing ministry with high schoolers. And one of the things that I have learned is that nobody expects high schoolers to live a great story. So they don't. In fact, most high schoolers either don't know how to live a great story, or they don't believe that your story actually matters until later on in life. But you see, I believe that you can live a great story. And great stories are what change the world. But will you choose to live a great story? You see, every high schooler should have the tools to live the kind of life, to live the story that they actually want to live. And yet, almost no high schooler has a clear path to living that kind of life. And so most of you will end up living a life that isn't worth living. Most of you will end up living a story that isn't worth telling. In fact, most of you will end up living a life that undermines your voice in making the world better. And when you choose to live like that, the wrong stories end up being the stories that shape the world. You see, it is time to take control of your life, to actually live the story that you want to live. I absolutely believe that it's time for us to stop and say, this is my story. Now, I understand how challenging it can be as a high schooler to actually live a good story. I mean, I've been a high schooler. I've seen countless of other high schoolers try to live good stories and fail miserably, or just choose not to live a good story at all. Like, I get how challenging it is to live a great story as a high schooler. But using the tools that Jesus used to tell the greatest story ever told, this New Year's Eve, I want to help you clarify the story that you want to live, give you the tools to live it, and get you started making a difference in the world today. So what I want you to do is to go online tonight, tomorrow, right now, and I want you to register for This Is My Story. You can go to redeemermn.org/thisismystory. And this New Year's Eve, on December 31st, we are going to start writing better stories. We are going to start telling better stories with our lives. You see, you can graduate high school proud of the story that you're telling and the difference that you're making. You can actually live a great story. And great stories are what change the world. So again, I want you guys to take that step. I want you to actually register for this New Year's Eve at redeemermn.org/thisismystory. And together, we are going to choose to start living better stories with our lives. This New Year's Eve, Baco, we're doing something totally new, something totally different. I'm super excited about it. I want you guys to be there. I want you to invite your friends to come be a part of this, but you need to register. And here's a little sneak peek to this. If you register by like mid-December, so you've got like a couple weeks here. I don't have the official date yet, but if you can register by then, we're going to mail you the This Is My Story kit. And it's full of all kinds of goodies and stuff. I can't actually give away what's in there yet. But if you register early, you get that kit all mailed to you, and it's all free. The entire retreat is free. The entire day is free. I'm super excited about it. Really, what we want to do is just simply help you guys as high schoolers live better stories with your life. So that's what I want you to do. That's what this New Year's Eve we are going to be doing together. Baco, I'm super excited about it. But we have been in this series now called More Than a Hashtag. Baco, how has the series been going for you so far?
Yeah, the series, what I've been thinking of lately so far is how do we have a plan for this? Is there like a foolproof plan in the Bible, like for, let's say, climate change? The answer is no, of course not. Yeah. Really, how to tackle this is, as a Christian, I would say, is to have God at the center of your plan. That way you can really have God's guidance, really.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we talked about this a little bit before, like this whole idea of this series, right? When we talk about justice, when we talk about what it means to act in a way that's more than just posting on social media, that we have a different guiding principle, right? Yeah. And that's Jesus. Totally. I'm really excited about this series. I know this series has been led to some really good conversations in your growth groups already, and I'm really excited for us to continue on in this series today as we talk about acting justly. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our speaker, Mr. Nate Hendrickson.
I can speak for myself. I forgive you. And I know if you go to God and ask him, he will forgive you. And I don't think anyone could say it. Again, I'm speaking for myself, not even bad for my family. But I love you just like anyone else. And I'm not gonna say I hope you rot and die just like my brother did, but I personally want the best for you. And I wasn't gonna ever say this in front of my family or anyone, but I don't even want you to go to jail. I want the best for you. Because I know that's exactly what both of them would want you to do. And the best would be give your life to Christ. I'm not going to say anything else. I think giving your life to Christ would be the best thing that both of them would want you to do. Again, I love you as a person. And I don't wish anything bad on you. I don't know if this is possible, but can I give her a hug, please? Please?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel.
Justice is a word that I've heard for a long time. As many of you have heard it before, and I want to admit that I have greatly misunderstood what the word means. And it's hard for me to admit because it's years and years and years of misunderstanding. And because I can't even think of a time where I've had to display justice. I just have not been in a situation where it's greatly needed. And maybe that's because I've turned a blind eye to it. The need for justice against all forms of injustice, whether it be homelessness, sickness, racial, environmental, hate, lying. And I want to take this second to just pray. Because I need this message. Just like you guys need this message, I need this message. And I want to just pray that I'm open to all of you, that I'm vulnerable to where I failed. So, if you want to bow your heads with me, say a quick prayer, and then we'll continue. Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to ask for forgiveness in the realm of justice, where I may have turned a blind eye. I may have not seek justice when I was supposed to, act justly when I was supposed to. I want to thank you for your mercy and forgiveness, Lord, and then help me speak clearly and understandably about what you see justice as. Thank you. You are here, and we do this for your Son's name. Amen. Now, we opened with a video of a man forgiving a woman who murdered his brother. And I believe that this video is one of the few times where I've ever seen what Jesus' love and forgiveness would look like. Now, this video specifically deals with racial injustice,
and the forgiveness within this particular injustice, but it does not say that there aren't consequences for what is happening. It does not say what the woman did was okay. It does not say that this injustice is excusable. And I want you to understand that. But as a white male, and being honest with you, I feel very unqualified to even mention this topic because I don't have a full understanding. I haven't been as involved as I should be. But as I watch this video, and I begin to think to myself, do I let this video change me personally? Do I begin to look at love and forgiveness and mercy differently and let that change me? Or do I just let the injustice perpetuate? Because it'll just be fine. Somebody already said something. I have a choice. And I want to choose to let that act of forgiveness, that act of justice change me. This video and this young man is an example of how we let that forgiveness, that mercy, change us. That is the point of the video. It is not to say what happened was okay, that the injustice was okay, that there aren't consequences for the injustices that we see around us. But when it comes to Jesus and his forgiveness, we should let it change us. And we should let it change us because forgiveness and mercy is a huge part of God's idea of justice. Forgiveness is where justice begins. Now, this is a very emotional video that we watched. It's a very hard video for me to watch because I don't know if I could do it. If somebody murdered or killed my brother, my mom, my dad, my other brother, my girlfriend, her family, I don't think I could forgive them. I think I would want them punished. I think I would want them thrown in prison and the key thrown away. That's my idea of justice. That's the justice I've been told for the last 23 years. Justice to me, or what it has been to me, is somebody pays for what they did. And yet, I have been wrong. I've never been so wrong in my life when it comes to my idea of what justice is. And I find my failure in our first verse today. It's already up on the screen. Matthew 12, 15 through 21. So if you guys want to take your phones out, that's fine. Take your Bibles out and follow along with me. Otherwise, it's up on the screens. For you guys at home, be up on the screen as well, and the words will be below your screen as well. So Matthew 12, 15 through 21. But Jesus knew what they were planning, so he left that area, and many people followed him. He healed all the sick among them, but he warned them not to reveal who he was. This fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah concerning him. Look at my servant, whom I have chosen. He is my beloved, who pleases me. I will put my spirit upon him, and he will proclaim justice to the nations. He will not fight or shout or raise his voice in public. He will not crush the weakest reed or put out a flickering candle. Finally, he will cause justice to be victorious, and his name will be the hope of all the world. This whole verse in Matthew describes what justice is supposed to look like. Describes how God views justice. And it's given to us through Jesus. The perfect judge, the one who makes justice victorious, as our verse says. As I read this, I began to notice little things. And he will proclaim justice to the nations. He will not fight or shout or raise his voice in public. He will not crush the weakest reed or put out a flickering candle. Remember that my definition of justice, and that maybe some of you guys have, but for me particularly, justice is paying for what you did. I want that person to go to pay. I want them punished. But yet, in this whole verse, punishment is not even mentioned. This whole verse about justice, punishment is not even mentioned. And I look back to our opening video, this man is portraying exactly what it's saying. He's portraying justice just like Jesus. He even says that he does not want his brother's killer, his brother's murderer, to go to jail. He doesn't even want her punished. However, he never said what she did was okay. He never said that. Please understand that. And in this whole verse, Jesus, or what's being talked about Jesus, is not saying that injustice is okay. It doesn't say, cancer's okay. It doesn't say homelessness is okay. It doesn't say that racism is okay. It doesn't say that the person who hurt us and committed an injustice against us, that we're supposed to be best friends. Once you forgive them, you're supposed to be best friends with them. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that there will be no consequences. But rather, as a bringer of justice, Jesus' justice is that he will be a hope to all the world, not just certain parts. And this includes the people who once caused injustice. As hard as it sounds to us as humans, God is a God of all, and he wants to redeem all of those, even those who have brought injustice on the world. He wants to love and forgive them, and then them to have hope in that love and forgiveness. It is quite clear in this verse that punishment is not the way to bring justice in this world. Rather, it's brought in love and forgiveness. So as we dive into what it means to act justly, you and I are going to have to separate our idea of justice from punishment. We cannot put justice and punishment in the same boat, because justice does not equal punishment. And if we're going to do this, we have to start from the beginning. Where did this injustice begin? Where did all the bad things that happen in our world begin? And it began at the beginning with Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve lived in a perfect world. Eden. It was a paradise. There was no sin, no injustice. Yet, when they disobeyed God, when they ate the fruit from the tree they weren't supposed to, that is where it entered. That is where all the sin, all the injustice entered our world. All the brokenness entered our world. It was in that moment. It was here where our world became broken. It's where the injustices that we see today, crime, murder, bullying, stereotypes, racism, slavery, sickness, homelessness, it's where it began. And the great part about God is that he's a just God who hates injustice. He can't even be in the presence of it. And one day he will bring justice to the world, to all the world. He will heal every broken part of it. He will right every wrong, and our world will not be a world dominated by wrongs and injustices. And as Christians, we patiently wait for this day, praying for it, hoping in Jesus, like our verse says, and his love and forgiveness. Until then, though, we as followers of Jesus, we are the tools in which this hope that is spread, the hope of Jesus is spread, the hope of justice is spread. So how are we supposed to do it? How are we supposed to be those tools? And I think another verse in our Bible gives us an idea. So if you guys want to turn with me again to Proverbs 31, verse through 8. And it says this. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. Ensure justice for those being crushed. Yes, speak up for the poor and helpless, and see that they get justice. I read this verse, and I think to myself, yeah, I get it. We need to speak up, but what does that look like? Is that posting on Instagram? Is that posting on Snapchat? Is that, standing up to a bully at school? I mean, how do I do it? I mean, I don't have a voice. Like, I'm a teenager. I'm a high schooler. I don't have a voice. So how do I do that? Just because you are young does not mean you are voiceless. Your voice speaks volumes. And if we are going to speak up for others, we should look at how Jesus does it. Remember, our verse back in Matthew gives us an idea of what that justice looks like and what Jesus' justice looks like. And it says, he will not shout or fight or shout or raise his voice in public. So if we are going to act justly as followers of Jesus, we need to understand that sometimes actions speak louder than words. Looking back at Eric's message from last week about loving mercy and the whole story about this woman washing Jesus' feet and how the Pharisees were like, do you know who this woman is? What she's done? Jesus didn't need to say anything. He let his act of love and mercy towards this woman speak for itself. His love and mercy spoke loud enough. And even while speaking up against the Pharisees' words, he did not yell, he didn't scream, he didn't flip out. He kept calm, brought light what was wrong through love and forgiveness. So if we are going to speak up, if we're going to act justly, we need to realize that sometimes our actions speak louder than our words. And the second thing we need to realize when acting justly comes from the part right under the verse we just went over. He will not crush the weakest reed. He will not put out a flickering candle. He will cause justice to be victorious. So we need to realize that when we're doing justice, when we're speaking up, our words, our actions need to lift up, not push down. They should lift up those who are experiencing an injustice, homelessness, sickness, racism. Not crush them, not turn a blind eye to them. But at the same time, while we are bringing attention to those who are experiencing an injustice, when we speak up, when we try to point out that injustice, we don't do it by pushing down the oppressors, by punishing them and committing injustice against them. But rather than bringing justice with punishment, we should bring justice with mercy, love, and forgiveness. Remember, Jesus is the bringer of justice for all, not just one group. This includes those who are on the wrong side. And I know that's hard to understand. Because for me, remember, I've for years and years thought justice was punishment. But justice doesn't equal punishment. Jesus brings justice for all. That is why our verse says, and his name will be the hope for all the world. We need to love mercy and love forgiveness. Jesus loved mercy and forgiveness. This is how he brought justice around. This is how he made it victorious. Again, he's not saying that the injustice is okay. But we shouldn't commit an injustice, or we shouldn't try to do justice by committing an injustice, by punishing a person. No, we need to bring justice through love and forgiveness. Think of all the things that we've done wrong. I think of all the things that I've done wrong, which is a lot. Kind of don't want to think about it. But yet, Jesus didn't punish me. He doesn't punish us. He doesn't bring justice with another injustice. Even though it may seem like the hardest thing in the world, he loves all and is merciful to all and forgives all. He lifts up, not pushes down. He acts justly. And we can begin to do the same. We can begin to act justly in a broken world and begin to end the injustices that rule it. And then we get a taste of what heaven is like. People begin to see that hope. They begin to see that those acts of justice through love and mercy. The justice that Jesus brings. Remember, we are tools of his grand plan to cause justice to be victorious for all the world through love, mercy, and forgiveness. That is how we act justly. And I want to be part of that. And I invite all of you here in person and you guys online to come with me on this path. Back to what we started off with, the story of the man and his brother's murderer. He acts justly. He mirrors how Jesus shows justice. He didn't say that the murder of his brother was okay. No, he knows it was wrong. That there are consequences to what is going on. But he loves mercy. He loves forgiveness. He's merciful and forgives the woman even to the point of hugging her. Just think about that. Hugging your own family member's killer. Just think about that. How much forgiveness and love that takes. Begging her to accept Jesus and the hope that he brings. This man acts justly. This is the hope that causes justice to be victorious. For all the world, not just one part, all the world. The hope that changes the world. Imagine if our world did this, if we had justice, did justice like this, with love, mercy, and forgiveness. How different would it look than right now? How much less broken would it be? How many injustices would be eradicated? How closer would we be to heaven? I want that. I want that. And I pray that we can experience that now. So I'm going to end in prayer. We're going to go into a time of worship and just let this idea of justice through love and forgiveness sit and seep into your body, your soul. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you that you bring justice through love, mercy, and forgiveness. That the way you act justly is through that way. That you sometimes let your actions speak louder than your words. Your actions of love and mercy speak louder, and forgiveness speak louder. And that through those same actions, you lift up, not push down. Help us to do the same, Lord. Help us to understand what your idea of justice is. Help us come alongside you and mirror you. In your name we pray. Amen.
scattered. When you stepped into my heart, everything changed from the moment you came. And I will move wherever you want me to move. Come and be the center of my every room. Your grace finds me in chaos and fills up all of my fault lines. Come shine through all of my fractures and let your love be the spotlight. Your love is the spotlight. You run straight to my rescue with kindness that my heart has never encountered. All my ruins you make new, building me better than I was before. And I will move wherever you want me to move. Oh, come and be the center of my every room. Your grace finds me in chaos and fills up all of my fault lines. Come shine through all of my fractures and let your love be the spotlight. Your love is the spotlight. Your love is the spotlight. Your love is the spotlight. I will move wherever you want me to move. Come and be the center of my every room. I will move wherever you want me to move. Come and be the center of my every room. And I will move wherever you want me to move. Come and be the center of my every room. And I will move wherever you want me to move. Come and be the center of my every room. Your grace finds me in chaos and fills up all of my fault lines. Come shine through all of my fractures and let your love be the spotlight. Your love is the spotlight. Your love is the spotlight. Your love is the spotlight. Shine on, shine on, shine on me. Shine on, shine on. shine on me. Shine on, shine on, shine on me.
The message that we just heard tonight from Nate is probably up there in one of the most difficult things about what it means to be a follower of Jesus. That when we choose to follow Jesus, that if that's you, what that means is that we give up a lot of our rights. We give up a lot that other people don't have to. Because we follow someone who gave up everything. We follow a God who looks to restore and redeem, not punish and condemn. And for me, when I was back listening to Nate, I kept thinking to myself, God, I'm just so thankful that you don't treat me the same way I often treat others, that you don't give me the same kind of justice I tend to give others. Because man, I would be in a bad place if that's how God treated me. But what I know is that Jesus has transformed me in such deep, deep ways. Not because he made me pay the punishment, but because he gracefully showed me exactly the places where I failed and messed up, and he humbly walked me to a place that is more beautiful. He restored me and redeemed me. And that Jesus-looking justice is the justice that our world needs so deeply. And that's what God invites us into. To not sit idly by and to not just get swept up in what everyone else in the culture is doing, but to remember that we serve a God who loves first and who loves only. That's where we take our cues. We have one more week in this series. And next week, we're going to challenge you in a really big way. And if God has been doing anything in you in this series, been getting you to think differently or challenge your assumptions, then my prayer for you is this, that this week, these next 7 days, as we lead up into next week, you would ask the question, God, what do you want me to do next? God, what do you want me to do next? And I pray that he leads you into something big that we're going to start next week. But you'll find out what that is next week. So with that, we're about to head to our growth groups. If you're watching online, you can connect to your growth group via Zoom. The Zoom ID is down below. We'd love to have you connect with us in our groups and be part of the conversation where we can take the message we just heard and go a little bit deeper together. So with that, let's stand together and we're going to take our step. You guys ready? Let's say these words together. Each week, we take a step to signify our continuing walk with Jesus Christ. 3, 2, 1, step! Have a great time in your growth groups. We'll see you next week.